So there's basically a heat wave going on in the east coast of the United States right now, so I thought, what better recipe to make than brick toast or coffin bread? They basically have this recipe throughout Asia, and what you do is you take this big loaf of uncut bread and you hollow it out and you kind of turn it into like a little bit like French toast, and then you end up filling it with all of these yummy ingredients like ice cream and fruit. It's really just the perfect dessert for summer, so I can't wait to show you guys this recipe, so let's head over to the kitchen and then let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to start off with an uncut loaf of white bread, and surprisingly most supermarkets actually have this. Usually this recipe is done with brioche, but if we're going to do a vegan version, you want to just make sure that it's just going to be a white loaf instead. So I measured out about 4 inches. I took a little bit off of the top and then a little bit off of the bottom just because it was a little bit more narrow on the bottom, and it just seems like it's the right size. If you want to make it shorter, go ahead and make it shorter. And then check out what I'm doing right now. So I'm not going all through the bread. I'm just taking probably like a 1/2 inch from all of the different sides, and I'm just cutting that through. Later on I end up taking a little bit off of the top so that everything is square. So because not everything is poked through, I'm going to take it from the other end and I'm just going to stab it in partially. It doesn't go all the way through, okay? So I'm just taking it again kind of like a 1/2 inch from the top and then stopping a 1/2 inch from the bottom and then flipping all the way around until I get to all 4 sides. So afterwards, the bread should come out fairly evenly and sort of like a cube, so you can see a little bit like that. If you poked in a little bit too far, you can just add a small piece of bread to kind of cover it instead. So this is why you want that middle hunk of bread to look somewhat decent as well. You're going to cut these up into somewhat big chunks, and they're going to go in as part of the filling as well. So like I said before, I took off a little bit off of the top so that now everything is going to be a nice square. So this is going to be at earth balance. I melted about a 1/2 cup, and you want to be brushing this bread pretty liberally on all sides and then also on the outside. And kind of the reasoning is there's not too much additional kind of flavor to this. You can drizzle it with a little bit of like honey or a little bit of syrup afterwards, but really the butter is what's going to give it its flavor and then also kind of like a nicer texture as well. So you want to brush it fairly liberally. So inside, outside, top, bottom. So after you're done with that, you want to do the same thing with the little bread cubes as well. You can do it with a brush, but I actually think it's going to be somewhat easier if you just put everything into the bowl and then toss it around. That way the bread will kind of absorb it a lot easier that way. So anyways, this goes into a 350-degree oven for about 10 to 12 minutes. You're just looking for kind of that golden brown color, nothing too toasty, but it's gonna be something like this just so that it can hold together better when you fill it up with like ice cream and fruit and whatnot. So if this is a vegan recipe for you, you don't have to use honey. I would actually suggest brown rice syrup because it's kind of a very delicate sweet, and I would say like, let's say 2 or 3 tablespoons, but this is really as you please, and you wanna kind of flavor the inside and then a little bit on the outside as well, because again, this is really just bread and butter, so you really do wanna give it a little bit of flavor before you're gonna fill it up with anything. Okay, so I prepared a platter of fruit. The bananas are actually really nice if you are going to be filling it with like coconut cream like we're gonna do, or ice cream as well. So I have a little bit of a cooled coconut or chilled coconut cream so that it's nice and thick. And then afterwards, here goes the plating. So I'm going to just put, for the bottom, a couple layers of bananas. So 2 or 3 bananas and then some coconut cream. I actually found that this is, if you want it to be more decadent, just fill it in with ice cream right away. But the coconut cream is really nice too because it helps with the bread, and the bread kind of soaks it up a little bit better. So a little bit of the bananas, a little bit of the bread cubes, and then just a little bit of the coconut cream, and it all soaks together and all meshes together with like the sweet syrup and the bananas, and the bread soaks up everything. And then towards the top I start using more of the berries just because I know that it's going to showcase a little bit more, and then just more of the bread. So finally I'm going to top the top with just a little bit more coconut cream just to make sure that each of the bread cubes are nice and kind of macerated. And then this guy, I don't know if you've ever tried, but this is vegan Ben & Jerry's ice cream. It is the best. Peanut butter, cookies, and cream was my original favorite, and then I actually went to the Ben & Jerry's factory up in Vermont, and then I tried this almond brittle, and it was super, super good. But basically, you know, whatever ice cream you have on hand, and it's really wonderful for summer, and it's like a wonderful showpiece, and it's even better if you guys leave this out just a little bit so that the ice cream starts to melt a little bit and it kind of like drizzles off of the side. So just more fruit like that, really like whatever you guys want. I eventually added some Pocky sticks just for hype, but Pocky is not vegan. So if you guys just find any kind of like vegan cookies in the store, that's going to be a great decoration as well. And then this is peanut butter powder. So basically I just found whatever I could around the house. It could be like chocolate syrup, peanut butter powder, whatever. You can put like nuts or seeds. And then you just drizzle all of that over so that it becomes like this one big decadent dessert. Oh my god, it looks so good, and it's really perfect for the summer. And I would say this is definitely not a one-person dessert. I think it should probably be split between like 3 to 4 people, and if you're feeling really luxurious, then, you know, maybe just share it with one other person. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this really easy recipe, and definitely try making it for the summer. I think it's like kind of like an unexpected piece. As usual, if you want to see more recipes like this, remember to hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys again next time. Bye!